Hello, 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 Chicago Bears fans. Welcome to the Bears Den podcast number 58. And we finally have a great show lined up for you guys because, as you can see behind me, we are celebrating a win. And as always, please like us, follow us, subscribe to us. You can find us on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Don't be shy. Send us your comments tonight. Send us your feedback. And let me introduce the rest of the Bears in the den. I have the superstar, Todd. And as always, have the megastar who needs no introduction, the bad guy, Chicago Clarence. So, guys, how are we doing? How are we feeling? We finally got a dub.
Finally, what a difference a week makes.
Yeah, you're right. Chicago Clarence, what were your initial thoughts?
Well, everybody who knows me knows I hate the Cowboys. So
yes, he does. I can vouch for that.
Anytime we can put an L in their column is a good day for me.
And it was especially fun beating Matt Eberflus's ass with our offense. We just showed everybody what a bad coach he truly is. He just sat there in zone, and we just ate his ass alive. So, guys, let's talk about the offense first. Caleb Williams. Todd, how good is this kid?
Well, he was real good this week.
He was.
I was trying to find a trade for him last week, so,
In fantasy.
Yeah, well, in real life.
I mean, these were his numbers. 19 of 28, 298 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns.
And he skipped a couple balls that it should have been a little better. So, but yeah, no, that's great. Those are solid numbers.
That's what we want. Chicago Clarence, how good is Caleb Williams? Or how good was he Sunday?
I mean, he was real good Sunday. Overall, it remains to be seen. I still think that he misses a lot of layups. But this was going up against a really, really bad defense. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys defense is worse than ours. So I tend to temper my enthusiasm on what I saw Sunday. I could tell you that I'm more impressed with what the defense did against a very good offense than I am in what we did against a very bad defense.
Wow, you were impressed with our defense? They're so. But anyway, when you talk about Caleb Williams, right now, I know it's only 3 games, but he's on course to be our first ever 4,000-yard passer and 40 touchdowns. I mean, I think this kid I think he's going to be special. I still think he's got a long way to go. He's got a lot to prove yet, but I think I still would take him number 1 in that draft over Daniels, over the other guys. I still would take him. Would you guys still take him number 1? Yes, no?
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, I would have to listen to those offers from the Commanders, but yeah, they've all had their moments. The Daniels especially. The whole season last year, but Bo Nix has had his moments, obviously, and Drake Mace played well at times too. So, you got to look at it's still so early in this thing with about 20 starts now. So
right,
yeah, I think so. I think it would still take him number 1.
Clarence, would you still take him number 1?
If we were saying that I had to pick between what we did in the draft, then I would still say, yeah, I would take him number 1. But I mean, I've been on record saying I would have traded that pick, and I still stand behind that. I would have traded that pick.
And I think this is actually bigger than the yardage. He's projecting to cut down his sacks by half. That's huge right there. That, to me, is absolutely huge.
I mean, the thing that's been impressive over the 20 games is the interception number.
Yeah.
I know a lot of that was – I feel like a lot of that was drilled in his head under Eberflus. It's better to just eat it than it is to put – you do have to take chances. But his interception number has been ridiculously low.
It has been.
I wish he would be a little more aggressive, and number would creep up, obviously, at doing that. But that is the most impressive thing when it all comes down to it, just the sheer lack of interceptions.
I mean, I agree with you. He didn't throw many interceptions at USC, so I'm glad that part of his game is carried over. And I think Johnson is just drilling it into his head. Stay in system, stay in the rhythm, believe in my offense, believe in me. Don't do that hero ball. It's okay to do it once in a while, but don't do it all the time. We can't win like that. So, guys, what do you think of Rome Odunze? I see an ascending player, and he's projected to be number 1 by the end of the year. I think he's already nudging DJ out the way.
Yeah. I mean, right now he's if he's not a top 10 receiver in the league, he's real close. I mean, his numbers are phenomenal.
Yeah. What's up, Skull State of Mind? Thank you for joining us. We're actually celebrating a win this week. You are not, but that's okay. No, I mean, great guy, great podcast. We enjoyed having him on. We can't wait till we play them again and we can have him on again. So, Chicago Clarence, what do you think of the Rome Odunze ascension?
Is he not top for the league in touchdown passes?
I believe so.
Or near the top?
Near the top for sure.
I mean, for me, I was in a debate with somebody over him versus Marvin Harrison Jr. And if I had my druthers, I would take Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's a more explosive player. You can't argue with the production that Rome Odunze is right now. I tend to be a little nitpicky. He's dropping too many balls for me in his hands. He dropped a touchdown pass Sunday. It was in his hands. He's dropped a couple third down passes that would have kept drives alive. To me, you can't be a number 1 receiver if you can't be the go-to guy. And him and Caleb Williams have developed this chemistry that's going to be key since both of them came in the league and came on this team at the same time. So their development as a 1-2 punch is very key for us. But however, he has got to hold on to the ball. He's dropping way too many.
He did. He dropped that one in the end zone, or Caleb would have had 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, so he's tied. It's a 3-way tie at the top. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown has 4, and Rome has 4, and Trey Tucker out of nowhere with the Raiders has 4.
Now, St. Brown is having one hell of a season so far. That dude is eating.
Yeah, he's got 10 more yards than Rome, and he's got 2 less targets. So a lot of that was against us. The surprising thing is 3 touchdowns. The next group of there, Keenan Allen is right there with 3. So
yeah, I saw that.
I don't know what to say about that, but anyway.
So, guys, Clarence, I'll go to you the first time. What do you think of our rookies finally showing out? Burton and Loveland, even though Loveland got hurt in the first half, hip injury. Right now, he's listed as day-to-day. So what do you think of our rookies finally getting involved? Because a lot of people were screaming, we drafted these guys. Why aren't they getting involved?
Yeah, I mean that was a good question for coaches because I couldn't understand that either. How are you going to have your draft picks that are healthy scratches? That just doesn't look good. And especially when you're getting your asses whooped on top of it. And then you got these guys who was brought in to help us out. A first-round, second-round pick supposed to be on the team. They're supposed to make the team, and they're supposed to be able to play. They're supposed to be playing. So it was good to see those guys out there. It was good to see Williams spread the ball around. I mean, Zacchaeus caught a ball or a few. Burton got in there. It was really good to see him utilize the weapons he was given.
Todd, what did you think of our rookies finally showing out?
Yeah, they made a point to get the ball early to Loveland, but I got to tell you, I think that Luther Burden is the real deal all the way around. I think he's going to be a rock solid number 2 receiver for us, and I know that pushes DJ down another notch, but I'm just telling you, every time I watch that kid play, he looks like he fits the bill. He looks like the real deal, and I think he ought to get a lot more targets than he's getting. And I think before the year's over, he is. Yeah, I
agree with you, and I'm gonna say this: I think we should look into trading DJ Moore.
That's where I'm at.
That's where I was going next because the rumor mill is afloating that he's. I mean, would you guys move him? The reason I'm saying it like that is, don't you want to get a full year of Caleb and these weapons and Ben Johnson, and then see where we are at the end of the season, making sure everything fits together.
DJ Moore's making what, 20, 25 million a year?
I think he's at 27 now.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Why have somebody on your team in the offense making that kind of scratch and you're losing when you got people under him that can do what he does? Now, I ain't never been a fan of having your wide receiver in the backfield trying to run the ball between the tackles. We don't need to be doing that. We're going to get him hurt. But at the same time, if you can get a third-round pick for him, or to a team that's really desperate, getting maybe in a second-round pick for him, we should move him. Get that money off our books and put it into a damn pass rusher or 3 technique, which everybody can see we desperately need on this team.
Yeah.
And if somebody don't pick it up, we may need a damn right tackle after this year.
It seems like we have 3. It seems like we have a bunch of right tackles, because the Oz is projecting as the swing right tackle now. I mean, something's gonna have to give. One of those guys are gonna have to play left tackle.
Well, the guy who's starting right now he ain't had a good 3 games.
I know, and that's and he's the one that's getting the money. I mean, he was where he was picked. And he's the one that's got a deal coming up. So. But yeah, no, I think back to DJ, if we can if anybody brings out a second, I think that's a no-brainer. We have to do that. Yeah, I don't know if there's a player for player trade we can do, but I would look at that too. But there's not. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs come to mind. Obviously, they need. They've got Rashee Rice still suspended, which that'll change a little bit there.
Yes,
but they still need another body. And I would consider a player for somebody on their defense. So they've got a few guys. So anyway.
Well, here's a thought. Let's call the Carolina Panthers and see about sending them back home.
Yeah. Well, who do you want from
Carolina?
Carolina?
Think they need a wide receiver right now?
I know.
Who do you want in Carolina?
I don't think anybody makes any money on that defense other than Derek Brown, which
that's gonna be the key.
Right.
I'm looking for picks because me and Todd has got a wish list of what we want, and we want number 4 out of Notre Dame in our backfield next year, and whatever we got to do to get his ass here.
I mean, it feels like a luxury, but our running game is. I mean, they gave Manon guy some snaps, and I think he's okay, but I honestly believe he's the only guy in that room right now that's in that room next year. I think it's a wholesale change of running backs, all from 1 to 5. So, and
Jeremiah Love will look good in blue and orange.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've watched him play, Andy. I know you don't watch college football, but the dude is special.
Yeah,
and he can do it all. He can break tackles. He can run between the tackles. He does it with speed and power. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he does pass protect. He can do it all. But they got number 27 in Notre Dame too. Bigger body guy. Don't have the explosiveness that Jeremiah Love has, but he can do it all as well in Jadarian Price. Either one of those guys, I would love to have in Chicago.
The Bears have a tendency to at least a history of, liking the Notre Dame players. It's a natural thing. It's relatively close. So I mean, a lot of that all makes sense. It's a little bit of a luxury with our anemic pass rush to project a running back in the first round, but he's really it's early in the scouting season too, but Love is really the only name I'm hearing in the first round from.
And I'm on this even more because I don't know if you guys watched the game last night, but the Detroit Lions look just different to me. It's not easy to go into Baltimore and hit them in the mouth the way Detroit did last night. And they did it with the running game. They did it with their passing game. And, people just don't do that stuff to Baltimore. And we need players like that. And we don't have anybody on our roster that threatens the defense the way the Detroit Lions have. With both their wide receivers are burners. Then they hit you in the mouth with Gibbs and Montgomery, who, oh, by the way, used to play here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's just different.
I was standing in your bowling alley for that draft night, and they had just signed Montgomery maybe 2-3 weeks before that, and then the top 10, 11 pick. They pulled Gibbs out of there. I'm like, what are they doing? And man, that's worked for them.
And they're scary on offense. We found that out last week.
Yes, that was embarrassing last week. So our boy Arthur, who's been on our show, I'm getting tired of Swift. So am I. I mean, we tried to run the ball. I mean, we were 50-50 on offense, which we haven't been for a while, but we're still only averaging 3 yards a rush. It's just not getting it done. And I feel like I don't like the DJ Moore thing in the backfield. I think that pretty much admits that you fucked up at running back. Yeah. And you didn't. I think that's what it admits. You fucked up.
I think they just assumed that Jenkins or Henderson was going to be there in the second round, and when that fell apart, they just were scrambling and then making deals.
I mean, I would cut Roschon today and promote Britton Brown. Like, why is Roschon Johnson on this roster?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know if he's out of money, but he doesn't make enough money to matter. He'll be gone next year, and Swift is out of money next year. He's still got another year technically on his deal, but the money's gone, so there's no deal. So
and he doesn't run the ball. He doesn't run the ball between. He doesn't like contact. We need somebody that runs the ball between the tackles with bad intentions, and Swift just doesn't do it. We had that guy when we had Montgomery. We ruined the day that we let him go. But that's what we need. Jeremiah Love does that. Jadarian Price does that. They are not afraid to slam that ball in between those tackles and get the ball down and get the ball to the second level. And if you miss, they make you miss, then you might as well line up for the extra point because they're gone. You ain't catching them.
I mean, the biggest thing in running game now, the only stat that really matters is yard after contact. And we don't get any. I mean,
no.
Swift either looks to dive out of bounds or you put a finger on him, he's going to go down. So that's what every team's looking for now. That and pass protection.
And he's too willing to try to bounce it outside because he don't want to get hit.
So our boy Arthur agrees with us in bringing up Brown, and Swift has no vision, which everybody says that. I mean, Swift is deadly in the open field. Like you saw that screen pass, he almost took it to the house. That's where he's most deadly. He's not deadly between the tackles or breaking tackles. He's just not.
I mean, he's more dangerous as a receiver than a running back right now. So.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of the 19-play drive? 11. I didn't realize when we were watching. I know that on TV they announced it. They announced it's 20 plays, but 19 plays, 11 straight runs. Did you guys even realize we ran it 11 straight times on that drive?
Well, we were sitting there watching it. And if you remember, we was kind of saying to ourselves right before they got the ball that what we needed was a drive that took time off the clock. Yeah. So we started really noticing it once it got to the 6 and 7 mark.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, hell, we've had the ball a minute now. And I think Todd was like, well, hell, we took the quarter out with this drive.
Really
and I was perfectly fine ending that drive with 3 points. I think that it was a bit of a gamble, and I was really nervous when he decided to go for it on 4th. I would have kicked the ball 10 out of 10 times, but it was good that they put 6 on the board and then, ultimately got the extra point, making it 7. But when you do that to a team and the defense, that team is winded and you increase your lead.
They broke their spirit. Yeah.
That was kind of a backbreaker.
Yeah. I mean, the pregame, when Clarence was up, we just need to be able to control the clock because going into it, before the injury of the receiver, that was the thing is, are we going to be able to keep up with these 2 receivers? And then, that got nullified quickly. But I honestly think we could have. They set a tone early in that game with that takeaway.
Stevenson, yes, he did.
And, just all. So they just, I think they just gotten beat so badly, against Detroit that it had to turn around. So I was a little surprised they played as well as they did.
Well, and we had them to 14 points, but do you guys know that Dallas averaged 6 yards a carry?
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yes, it is.
You ain't going to win many games when the other team is averaging 6 yards a carry.
Right.
No.
Can't have that.
You're not. So anything else we want to talk? I mean, offensively, some facts were pointed out that Caleb Williams is consistently breaking the huddle at 18 seconds, which is where Ben Johnson wants him, breaking that huddle at 18 seconds.
He's trainable.
Yeah. I mean, and we actually did not give up any sacks on the offensive line.
That's very big.
Yeah, that's huge. So let's switch over to the defense. Like as Clarence just alluded to, Tyreek Stevenson really set the tone with that first takeaway. And that was beautiful, was it not? I mean, he set the tone, and it was a day of really – I thought the takeaways was the key to the game.
Right.
4 turnovers, it's hard to win when you have 4 turnovers.
Sure.
So I thought that was setting the tone, and that got us moving in the right direction. So
well, it saved us because we started the game 3-and-out, and Dallas was getting ready to score on us. He got the ball out, but that was after a 30-something yard run. You know, we were in trouble.
Right. Yeah, we were.
They were running the ball down our throat.
Yep.
Yeah. So as Clarence pointed out, Dallas still averaged 6.1 yards a rush. That's just not going to get it done.
Yeah. Run the ball and stop the run. That's the old saying, right?
And that's
the reason why we were saying that it was important for us to be able to control the clock and have long drives and put points up, because I was scared of this offense. And even with CeeDee Lamb getting hurt, they still moved the ball on us. It was just for the simple fact that they got behind because they turned the ball over and got behind the 8 ball, was forced to throw and press. But they were able to move the ball on us, and you can't have a football team getting ran on like we continue to get ran on. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at counting. I mean, the dude was hitting the hole and would have 5-6 yards before he even got touched.
Yeah.
It's inexcusable. That's inexcusable. With the money we got on defensive line and them guys not doing their job up front, it's inexcusable to have a running back hit 4 or 5 yards rushing before he gets touched. That will get you beat.
Yeah. Against really good teams, we're going to be in trouble. I mean, Detroit already showed it. I mean, just for the record, Javonte Williams was a free agent this year. We could have signed him.
Yeah, but
I mean, he looked really good.
He was not great in Denver. And
no, he wasn't, but he looks good now.
And he was often hurt. So
yes, he was.
He's hurt a lot.
Yeah.
We got enough pansies on this football team.
So, speaking of defense, I know Tremaine Edmonds had 2 interceptions, which was key, but I didn't realize he had 15 tackles. As Todd said in our pregame, this was probably his best game as a pro with the Bears.
Right.
I mean, he was outstanding.
Him and Sewell both were good. I mean, I'll say this. Sewell, Edwards, and Stevenson, to me, were the 3 that flashed on defense. They made plays all day long. One of their names were being called. So it was kind of hard, and I know reason why Ben Johnson decided to give him the game ball with the 2 interceptions. But he could have gave it to either one of those guys, and I wouldn't have had a problem with it.
Yeah, well, the 2 picks were the key.
Yeah, that one in the end zone was huge.
Yeah,
because if they would have punched it in, that would have been a different ball game. So that one was huge, and we actually had a Dominique Robinson sighting and a Montez Sweat sighting. They both got sacks. And Dominique, that was his first one since his rookie year against San Francisco in the Rain Fest. We had Justin Fields, and they were trying to figure out if Trey Lance was a real quarterback.
Yeah,
it's been that long. It's been that long for Dominique Robinson for him to make an appearance like that. So,
did
guys,
Adebayo play Sunday?
Who'd you say?
Yeah, Dio.
Yeah, Dio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Hang on.
He did not do anything.
He was 1 solo tackle, 4 tackles, 1 QB hit.
And Shamar Turner finally made an appearance.
Yeah, let's see what his numbers.
He got some reps. I don't think he registered anything in the box.
He didn't register anything. No.
So, guys, going forward against the really good teams, what do we do with this pass defense, run defense, no pass rush? I mean,
Well,
I don't think there's any way we can fix this.
We got one more game, and Booker's going to come back.
And
he is going to be a welcome addition to a defensive line that has struggled to get pressure. And I'm not saying Booker is the second coming of Khalil Mack, but hell, what can we lose? He's on the team. We might as well put him in there and see what he can do. No one else has claimed that spot opposite Sweat. And hell, we're even questioning him if we paid him too much. I mean, I'm thinking that Sweat's wallet is holding him down because he's definitely not getting to the quarterback.
Yeah. So let me ask you: did we overpay Sweat? I mean, since
some production, hell yes.
Yes, we did. Since we paid him, he's just been non-existent. I mean,
when he first got to Chicago,
he was good.
Now he did elevate that defense, and Matt Eberflus was coordinating that defense. I happen to think Matt Eberflus is a fabulous defensive coordinator, but he doesn't have a lot to work with in Dallas right now.
No, he doesn't.
He's having to play zone a lot because everybody's hurt. So he sucks as a head coach, but he's a damn good defensive coordinator. He showed us that in Chicago. We already had a top 15 defense. At the end of the year, he had elevated us to top 10 along with getting Sweat. So, but at the same time, the people who are getting paid to be difference makers have got to be difference makers. And Sweat was brought in to be a difference maker, and he ain't doing his job.
Todd, what do you think of Montez Sweat? We're paying him a lot of money. Shouldn't he have the C on his chest instead of Grady Jarrett? Shouldn't he be, just for a record, there was a team meeting Thursday night that was initiated by Brisker and Jarrett. But shouldn't your damn $98 million defensive end be the captain and the leader?
What? When we paid him, that was the going number.
Right.
It's doubled now, but just for a handful of guys. I mean, he's not at that level, but
no.
He's probably not overpaid by much. He just needs to be more consistent. And if he's, I think he was hurt last year and just kind of played through it. Kind of have to admire that. A lot of guys don't do that anymore, but it's good to see him get a sack. The only thing about, I don't know, because he was a Poles guy. He's not necessarily a Ben Johnson or Dennis Allen guy, but he's our guy. He's the best edge we have. I mean, there's a defensive end that we have. I mean, there's no question, but and Jarrett was the shiny new toy who, I almost can't stand free agency just because
we overpaid for him.
You overpay for everybody.
I know.
You can't not.
And I love Jarrett. I think, he's a great player, but I think he's on the back end of his career.
I think if you're trying to get if you're trying to get a top 20 player on your team, it's going to kill you if you're trying to put those, like if you want to supplement, roster guy 35 through 50 in free agency on these, small short deals. I get that. But if you're trying to, hit a true starter there, you got to draft that kid. You got to develop that kid. That's the only way you can do this and make sense. Otherwise, you run out of money. I mean, you just can't do it. So, and he wasn't a free agent. We traded for him, but still, it was a trade where he needed paid, and the year that we traded for him, he, put up his biggest sack numbers, in his career. So, and it was a no-brainer to pay him. We had to pay him. Yeah. And the money's not too bad right now.
And let's not forget, he's on his third, fourth defensive coordinator since he's been in Charlotte.
He is. Yeah.
That stuff matters.
It does.
That stuff matters.
It does.
Every time that we can look at somebody and point out their flaws, we can also look at the team and point out their flaws. Right. And we always the underlying issue on why people don't perform. We were giving Caleb Williams a hard time. We forget what that kid's been through in the short time he's been there.
Oh, right. Hell.
I mean, it's egregious for him to be on his fourth offensive coordinator.
Right.
And his third head coach.
Oh, hell. I'm just going to say trouble entered the chat. And you guys know who I mean already. The one who said she's going to take a belt to my ass in fantasy. she ain't said nothing, but she's entered the chat. So guys, I mean, I didn't know this at the time, but there was a team meeting Thursday night, defense only, and it was initiated by Jarrett and Brisker. I remember last year we had a team meeting, and the results were good until we got to the Washington game. But my point is, like, you're paying Sweat to be the leader, to be the man. I mean, I realize we pay Jarrett, and we're paying him for more for leadership and a locker room guy, but man, I just feel like Sweat should be the guy. He should be the man, the big dog, the alpha on the defense. And it's just not happening. So, guys, let's switch to coaching. Ben Johnson got his first win as a Chicago Bear. I'm sure everybody has seen the locker room, the way they were hooting and hollering, carrying on.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't help but to be infectious. I mean, did we finally get – I know it's only 3 games in, but do you feel that even though we got our ass beat by Detroit, we still got this going the right way? We still could be 2-2 at the bye against the Raiders.
Well, we got to win that game, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, need I remind you about the London game when we went to that game against the Raiders as heavy favorites and got our asses whooped.
They're not gonna lay down and let us. And you talk about stopping the run. That kid gets and he struggled, and he's a rookie. He struggled, but coming out, he was the top dog for yards after contact.
Yes.
So if Javonte Williams is doing that to us, his line's not great in Oakland.
No.
But still, out in the open field, if he's missing tackles, we will certainly be there missing them. We'll be contributing to that because we miss a lot of tackles.
So, I'll put it to you this way: Genty is on my fantasy football team.
Yeah, so
and I have not been happy with his production, but I will not take him out of the lineup going up against our defense.
You've got to start him.
You that.
So overall, I mean, did you have anything to bitch about Ben Johnson? Any negatives to say from the last game? Like he did not burn a timeout. I didn't realize that fact until they pointed that out after the game was over. He took all 6 timeouts with him.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, there were no bad challenges, but I just feel like the rhythm of the offense, like I didn't hear anybody scream like, "What the hell are we doing? Like, why did we run that play?" Like the offense just flowed nicely. I thought Sunday.
Yeah, there's always a couple of head scratchers.
I mean, it's like I said before. At the end of the day, our record reads 1-2. We got the win. We played the Dallas Cowboys. It's not our fault that their boat got more leaks than ours do at the moment. But guys, let's not forget, this is a bad football team.
It is.
They are a terrible defense. And so, yes, it's great to go out there and run plays and things work. But that shit ain't working against the Detroit Lions and the other team. We just saw what Minnesota came into Chicago and did with a rookie quarterback, and then they turn around and go lose to Atlanta. So it's things like that you got to beat. We got our hands full this year. We're going to see where we are when we play Philadelphia, when we play the New York Giants, who has a very good defense. We're going to see how well Ben Johnson's offense works against them. We got to play the Washington Commanders. We got to play the Baltimore Ravens. We're going to find out. So, yes, we won the football game, but at no means have we arrived. I got to see this shit against a good team.
No, I did too.
Because the Chicago Bears would not fool me again. I am not drinking the Kool-Aid until I see us start doing this against good football teams. You can beat up on the sisters of the poor, stick your chest out, and holler all you want to. We need to do this against good football team. And we got 3 of them in our division, and we ain't beat none of them yet.
I'm not sure we're going to, honestly. But Cleveland just beat Green Bay, so that was a bonus for us.
Cleveland has a very good front 4.
They do.
They had Love running for his life. We ain't have nobody doing that yet.
No, we do not. So, Todd, who would you hand out a game ball to? We saw Ben Johnson do it in the locker room. Who would your game ball go to?
Other than what they chose?
Any player on the Bears.
Uh well, there was flashes, but yeah, no, I think they chose right. I don't think there's really much controversy there. I mean, the second
Yeah.
interception was the thing that pushed it over, and I mean, you gotta you gotta be thinking Caleb, and that's the 4 touchdowns. I mean, he looked like he was under control, looked like he's listening. I think during the preseason and during training camp, it was all Ben Johnson, hard nosed. This is the way it's going to be. This is the way it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be. And it didn't really feel like that too much in the Lions game more than anything. But I mean, we controlled that Minnesota game all but that quarter, and that
Right.
quarter did us in.
Right.
But I think not letting that fester and linger out there. The whole you know, uh, we're not going to take crap. Like, I mean, the players were calling for, and I don't want to talk about last year, but when they're calling for more structure and more
Yes.
discipline and everything else, I mean, that's crazy, right? That they're having to do that. So he just needs to stay on that path.
Clarence, who else would you give a game ball to? Or do you agree with Ben Johnson's choices?
I agree with Ben Johnson's choices, like I said, but however, I wouldn't have had a problem if Stevenson got one. I mean, we talked about Edwards' 2 interceptions, but let's not forget the first turnover of the game. That was from Stevenson. Dallas was about to score on us, and
Mm-hmm.
Stevenson gets that ball out and gets the ball back, breaks their momentum, and gets the ball back to the offense. And I think we ended up turning those into points. So, and Sewell was all
Mm-hmm.
over the field. And
Yeah.
he ain't great in pass protection, but he had his name called a lot. And I was very happy with what I saw. And, as I said before, you know, I try not to be critical of the team, but I also feel like I try to be also a realist. I am going to give Ben Johnson some credit because he is a first time head coach and he's learning on the job.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
the one thing that I am extremely happy about is the culture he is trying to bring to Chicago. He's been on their ass about their practice habits. He ain't let up on that. He's been on Caleb Williams about processing defenses and getting in and out of the huddle and getting rid of the ball, which is drastically cut down on the hits that he's taking and the sacks. So, and we need that. We've been crying for that. I just think that it's going to take longer for us to get to where we want to go than what we anticipated. And we have got to give the Bears organization a little more than what we feel like we've given them already enough of, and that's patience and time.
Yeah.
Whew.
I think I mean, look, I'm one for being pro Stevenson, but until he has a good game in 3 weeks
So he's got to
against the
stack them
Commanders,
together.
no, he has to shine in the Commanders game because that's where it fell apart for him. So that's I mean, it shouldn't be the case, but he needs to play well, and he really needs to play well there just to get that off his back.
Yeah, he
So
gets a return to the scene of the crime.
yeah,
We
right,
playing the same team in the same place.
That's hard
yeah,
to believe.
it
We've
was
been playing the
strange.
Commanders, it feels like, for every year, for how many years in a row. But I would give my game ball to Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
First win as a coach. He will remember this for the rest of his life, regardless of what happens to him, what their future holds. This was his first win as a head coach. So I'll give him a game ball. So is there any hold my beer moments, guys? You thought, holy shit, this was amazing, or holy shit, what were we thinking? To me, I thought the flea flicker when
yeah,
that ball came back, I thought, holy
right.
shit, that's way over his head.
Yeah, I thought
And
it was
now
going to
it's
sail over.
now it's come out that DeAndre Swift's arm got hit. That's why it sailed so high.
Mm.
But Todd, were there any hold my beer moments for
Well,
you?
I'm sorry. I'm surprised he didn't go down if his arm got hit. You just
Yeah.
he gets touched if you're under the ground. That moment, that was the thing, because it was like, oh God, what are they doing? And and then it
Yes.
works out. It was like that what Clarence was talking about, going for it on that fourth down and scoring. I was like, we're just used to that being the mistake. You can see them making the mistake before they do it, or
Mm-hmm.
as the play starts. But no, it was refreshing.
Clarence, any hold my beer moments for you? You thought, holy shit, great player, stupid play.
You know what? It's the explosive plays in the NFL.
Yeah.
Explosive play, a big play, basically is categorized as a play over 20 yards. For the last few years, the Chicago Bears have been at least the bottom or near the bottom in that category. I think in this game we had about four of them. And
Mm-hmm.
we're not used to seeing that. We're not used to seeing our quarterbacks throw the ball down the field to one of our players. It's usually to the other team when they throw the ball down the field. So it was refreshing to see big plays go in our favor on offense for a change.
It was nice to see. So, guys, let's talk about the Raiders Bears for a little bit before we sign off. Todd, who you got Sunday?
We should beat the Raiders. I don't know what the line is, but we should beat that. You know, I'm a little concerned.
1.5, if I'm not mistaken.
They line up Max Crosby against Braxton. I'm concerned about that. They're gonna. I mean, everybody has to double team him, but we definitely will have to do that.
We're 1.5 point favorites.
Okay, yeah. See, that's in their building. That's yeah. It's not really surprising, but it's rare that we've been a favorite in somebody else's building. But you know. They've got the receiver we talked. I mentioned earlier. His numbers are pretty good. So it's not just the tight end. You know, they've got some talent, and their offensive line hasn't been good. But you know, but we don't get a lot of pressure anyway, so that may balance out. I mean, I think we win, but do we win by more than 7? Probably not. I mean. I think we're going to come off of the high of this game and go in there and do that. Did they announce whether Loveland's going to play yet? Do we know that yet?
He's week to week. Last I checked. He's day to day. There's a chance he's going to play. He's day to day. His listing is questionable.
I mean, if it's it might be better not to, because then he gets this week and then the bye week to go into Washington, but.
Yes,
I think I think we win that game.
Chicago Clarence, who wins Sunday?
I ain't gonna lie to you. This game scares me. Their our run defense is very, very poor, and they've got a hungry running back there.
Yes, they do.
Games, and he's already complaining about his usage. You know, I can see them feeding him the ball, and us really suffering for it because we have not proven to anybody that we can stop the run on a consistent basis. So this game worries me. A running game is the best thing for a quarterback in general, and it's really good for a struggling quarterback, which is what they have their issues in. Pete Carroll's a very good head coach. He's going to have his team ready to play. We got to go out there and execute. I would like to think that we're going to win this game, but hell, I remember being favorites against the Raiders before, and it didn't go our way. So, and I think we ended up losing Akeem Hicks for the rest of the season after that game as well.
What of us went all the way to London for that game, didn't they, Andy?
Me. I went all the way to London for that game. I couldn't get Clarence to go with me. He always says, I ain't paying for that crap.
Yeah, it's pricey.
I mean, I think we beat the Raiders. Their defense is like ours. It's bad. And I think Ben Johnson should be able to exploit it. This is why we paid the man to be an offensive genius. So I think we should exploit it. I think we should beat the Raiders.
Well, you know, defensively, it's a little scary. We don't tend to go well against quality tight ends, and they have a great tight end. And
yes, they do.
You know, we don't tackle well, and they've got a good back against a tackle, and they've got a smart head coach. And Geno Smith is a above average quarterback. You know, he's not necessarily gonna lose a game for you. So you know but I still think that offensively we should. Their secondary is pretty bad, so hopefully we can just keep rolling with the receivers. But I don't think it'll be a blowout.
No, I don't think we're gonna blow out anybody this year because our defense is that bad. So, guys, let's head into our final thoughts because Clarence has sausage and pancakes on the or something. So, Todd, we're kicking to you, man. What are your final thoughts on our Chicago Bears or anything in general?
I think, you know, the most thing that aggravates me, and you see it a lot on DJ, and I see it in Caleb, just the overall grumpiness, or I don't know. If you look at his face, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I mean, if I'm on Instagram today, all I'm seeing are stories out of Chicago. People lined up around the buildings for, this promotion of free hot dogs for 4 touchdowns, and it isn't about the food. It's about the fans getting together and all that. If you do anything, if you show
the city loves you.
The city will love you. That's the thing that I don't think he's experienced there. I mean, I know he's seen all the Jordan stuff and all this stuff, but he's a little kid during all this stuff. When he got there, seeing how it was, and if you try your best and if you succeed at all, they'll make every excuse in the world for you. The city of Chicago, and I hope he's watching that. I mean, he has to be. There's no way he can't be seeing that. So maybe that'll loosen him up, and maybe it'll look like he wants to play for us. Because I got to tell you, after that Lions game, I wasn't convinced he wanted to play for us.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams could have the city of Chicago in the palm of his hand if he's great. I mean, we've never had a great quarterback in this city. I can guarantee you, Michael Jordan did not pay for any meals when he was winning championships. He was getting his tab picked up all the time. So my final thoughts, as I said when we signed on, I am so glad our offense whipped Matt Eberflus's defense's ass. I was so grateful for that, but that was just a horrible head coach and a horrible 3 years. But as always, thank you for watching us. You can find us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. My final thoughts are just carry the momentum into Las Vegas. Get a W, get to the bye week 2-2. Kyler Gordon, we should get healthy, and I do not play him Sunday, even if he is medically cleared to play. I'm told he's 100%. I do not put him on that field. That would be stupid. Hopefully, we get Booker back. We should get Booker back. We're supposed to. I'm not saying he's a world beater either, but he should help us. So, Chicago Clarence, you in good mood, bad mood, pissed off, blood pressure medication? Go ahead.
Well, I'm 3-0 in our fantasy football league, and guess who I play on Sunday?
And then we wonder where she gets it from.
Yeah, and she and I are both 3-0 along with Edmund.
Here we go again.
And Sunday, I get to put belt to ass on Andy because he's going to get some act right. And
I'm losing players already. Connor's out. Burrow's out. So Jamar Chase is.
Yeah, you're in a lot of trouble. This is a bad time to be playing me. But at any rate, we can't help the schedule. But as far as the Bears, I am. If we win this football game and go into our bye week 2-2, I think that's about as best any of us can hope for based on what we've seen so far. I had us going in at 3-1. I had us beating Minnesota, but we won't revisit that. A lot of people had us coming out and losing to Washington.
Wow.
So if we can come out and get that game and be 3-2, then I'd say that we'll be in a pretty good spot.
See what you did, Clarence? Now she's talking shit. Champ is here.
Well, she ain't lying. She is the champ. She reminds us that all the time.
And then she actually told you to act right. Wow. See what you started? But go ahead, man.
But yeah, at the end of the day, we got a chance to be 2-2 and go into the bye week and get healthy and reassess where we are as a football team and get some people back, which I think, as you said, will help us, Booker and Gordon particularly. Our secondary definitely needs help.
Yes.
But I see you guys at the bar on Sunday.
Yeah. All right, man.
Another late one.
Yeah, 4:30 start. Till next time, bear down. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments.